What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Summer House season 7, episode child. I don't know, episode 10. Let's get into it, shall we? Child, I'm all off today. Just bear with me. We echoing in the background. I don't got it ready. Let's go.
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force, yeah. Blessings they are reap and we coursing on.
All right, y'all. So we didn't do the review for last week. So I want to quickly recap last week so that we can get into tonight's episode. So last week, we pretty much had Kyle's birthday party, which I was excited to finally see because they haven't really had any like real parties at the house since the C19. So it was really good to finally see a whole bunch of people at the house. Kyle seemed like he had a really good time. It was his 40th birthday party. Everything, the episode started off with the continuation of the dinner, right? And then we have everybody planning basically for the party. So we're going to kind of go all over, but only with the important parts. So Jason comes to the house because he comes with the I forgot what the girl's name was. She was actually on Winter House last season. But I guess Jason is her little boy toy now. So he was there and Lindsay basically felt uncomfortable because he was there. So I'm like, girl, you had a little rendezvous with Jason. It didn't work out. You just ignore him. You don't have to be around him every 5 minutes. Like, and then you don't have to make it so awkward and obvious. But I did like the fact that Lindsay told Carl that she felt uncomfortable about Jason being there and that she basically wanted to avoid him. So Carl went and had a conversation with Jason and said, listen, we ain't really trying to be having you talking to Lindsay very much. She's not trying to communicate with you that much. So don't even really talk to her like that. And he was cool. He was like, it's all right. So we also expand upon Carl telling Kyle that he's going to propose to Lindsay. So I think that's amazing. Like they have been friends in this episode, we learned that Lindsay and Carl have been friends for 7 years. They tried to date before. So I really am having trouble with this whole story that Danielle is coming up with about, oh, you guys are moving too fast. I feel like Danielle is just jealous that her relationship isn't working out and it's not going the way she wants it to. So it's like because she drops everything to defend Lindsay at the drop of a hat, she thinks that Lindsay is supposed to somehow drop her boyfriend for her maybe thinking that Danielle is feeling some type of way. But Danielle is not being open and honest and forward with her feelings. She's just expecting Lindsay to read her mind, like she tries to read Lindsay's mind all the time. I'm just like I'm really over Danielle. I want her to really be honest with her feelings and just stop. It's too much. It's too much. Finally caught your live. Always catch the replay. Oh, thank you, Terry Babe 89 for coming into the chat. I appreciate you. My girl Michelle has been here from the beginning because I didn't know that y'all could tell when I'm on in the backstage coming on. I'd be like, oh Lord, let me hurry up for they think I'm just sitting back here playing around. I'd be trying to get the graphics and stuff together. But y'all, yeah, so basically Kyle's birthday was like a hoedown or whatever. It was like like a hoedown. So what other things was important? Oh, so outside of the Jason thing, it was Chris obviously trying to spit some game, child. Oh, Wanda Marshall. I keep on forgetting what your new name is. Thank you for reminding me. But y'all, yeah, so then we also see the beginning of the relationship between Sam and Corey. Corey is very cute. Let me say this. Corey is an attractive young man. And then we also saw a big thing. Paige was crying at the thought of what's that boy proposing to her. I'm like, girl, what? Why are you sitting here crying thinking about Craig proposing to you? This is ridiculous. Like, Craig was sitting, I think Craig really wants to get married. Craig is getting older. I think Craig is turning 35 according to Paige this year. Well, last year at this point. And he's like, well, eventually somebody's going to have to move. I always thought maybe you would move down to Charleston or whatever, we could settle down. Maybe because it's more cost effective to live in southern South Carolina, right? And he has his businesses down there. I'm pretty sure he makes more money than Paige. So he's probably thinking she gonna come down there, and that's what makes more sense. But Paige is selfish. She's like, I don't want to leave New York. I want to be in my rusty, crusty apartment, not cleaning up, being trifling, overpaying for an apartment. I want to live here. That's what I want to do. So Craig, I guess, is so lost in the sauce and love that he is going to eventually move to New York to be with her. But anyway, moving on. Another big part of this episode was at the end when Danielle, this is episode 8. No, 9, I'm sorry. So at the end of the episode, Danielle and Lindsay finally have a conversation. And Lindsay was saying, you know what? I'm trying to understand you. I feel like you walking around here talking about me to everybody else. What gives? Like, what do you want me to do? Okay. How can we move forward in our relationship? And, how are you feeling? Because Danielle was like, I feel like you never asked me how I feel. And I'm like, girl, you don't never give her a chance to ask you how you feel. And Lindsay says, well, you never give me a chance to ask you how you feel because you over here telling the girls that obviously don't like me what you think and how you feel about our relationship instead of coming and telling me. So I don't think that that's fair for you to put it all on me. And she's like, well, Lindsay, but you never ask me. Like, you never come see me. You never do this. I'm like, girl, this lady is in a whole relationship. And so are you, by the way. Why are you so busy clocking your friend like this? It's just, Danielle is really giving me a headache. She really, really is. Like, it's so annoying to me that she is acting like this and being so needy. Like, I hate a needy ass woman. I can't stand it. So let's move on to the current episode, which is, I'm watching episode 10. Who wears the crazy pants? Okay. And it's Danielle. It's really Danielle. So the episode starts off where everybody is getting themselves together to go ahead and the party is ending. Corey and what's her face finally and Sam finally kiss, right? Because they've been going back and forth playing coy with each other. Then they finally kiss each other, which, by the way, they're actually in a full-blown relationship now at current day, which I thought was really cute. Sam was on Watch What Happens Live with Lindsay tonight. But moving on, Danielle and Lindsay the episode continues with them crying it out, hugging it out, whatever the case may be. I think Danielle is just really upset because she doesn't get to see her boyfriend Robert that much. Robert is a chef and he's always out somewhere at the restaurant cooking, child. He ain't never home. But I think Robert ass ain't never home because Danielle is annoying. I think Robert he don't know how to break up with Danielle, so he constantly working. And I think that Danielle makes his life a little bit easier when he comes home. And so because she doesn't see him that much, she tries to work overtime to try to make it fun when they're together, but she really doesn't because all she does is end up complaining the whole time about what they're not doing. So instead of her just being honest with Lindsay in the conversation when Lindsay was basically asking her, how do you feel? She was just complaining. Like, but you don't never ask me anything. You don't talk to me. And Lindsay is like, I'm asking you right now. But then Lindsay ends up kissing her and hugging her and they just make up at that moment, which I thought was whack because they didn't really move on anywhere. So moving on, party is fun. Everybody ends up packing up and going home. I thought it was really funny. Corey was staying in the room with Paige and Craig, and he was like, shut up, Paige, from the bathroom. And Paige was like, I don't ever want my children around him. I was like, this is hilarious. So anyway, moving on. Now everybody's getting prepared to go to, no, Amanda, Paige, and Sierra get some tests where they're concerned about Amanda and her fertility. And I think it's amazing as friends. They're trying to help her through this and try to figure out what's going on. So Sierra gets some type of little test and they all sit there and draw blood or whatever, put it on the little test. And I guess they're going to figure out the results of their fertility or what their backgrounds are. What I don't know what they're doing. But Amanda feels good about the fact that she hasn't been to the doctor in a while. So she feels like this is the time, she feels better about figuring out what's going on with her fertility and her period not coming because she hasn't had a period in over a year, I think is what she said. And she hadn't gone to the doctor to figure it out. I'm like, girl, that is not healthy. And then she looks real thin. And I'm looking at it right now like, girl, the camera adds 10 pounds and you still real thin. I can see your ribs. So you need to go to the doctor and figure out what's going on with you. But I don't know what's going on with Paige and them, but they ain't really giving her the best advice. But I hope this little blood they done draw it helps it out. So moving on, also in this episode, Carl's brother apparently passed away on Lindsay's birthday 2 years ago. So it's always going to be a constant reminder of him. It's going to be a sad day, but it's supposed to be a day that they're also celebrating Lindsay's birthday. So it's a little rough for him. So they have an emotional moment, and Lindsay is like, "Do you think your brother would be proud of you?" And he said, "Yeah, I think so. I wish he could have met you." And so he gets emotional. And I just think that Lindsay is so good for Carl's spirit. I remember a couple seasons ago when everything happened with his brother and Carl was having a rough time. Lindsay surprised him and brought his mom into town so that his mom could help cheer him up. So Lindsay has always loved Carl. And I think that I just think the first time they were together, it just didn't, Lindsay wasn't mature enough for them to be together. But now I think that now that Lindsay is older, she's had different relationships. She done had her little hot girl summer child. I think it's going to be better for them. And I love the fact everybody else seems to be hating on how much they love each other. I think it's great that they are so affectionate towards each other. And of course, it's fresh. But I think that they've been friends for so long that they know each other. It's easy for them, right? So we're at the housewarming. Okay, everybody comes over. Lindsay and Carl apparently have this apartment that's $13,000, okay, a month. I'm like, child, New York is expensive. How much are they paying these people at these jobs in New York for a damn apartment to be $13,000 a month? But whatever. So everybody else comes over. Kyle, Amanda, Paige, Sierra, Gabby. Everybody comes through. Chris with no game. I don't think Corey came. No, Corey didn't come over, but Sam was there too. Actually, Corey did come, and Sam was like, she's bringing him to the house that weekend. So anyway, Danielle and Lindsay are having a conversation. And again, even though I thought they were on the best page, a good page after the last conversation, sort of, even though they brushed it under the rug a little bit. But they end up having another conversation. And Lindsay asked some really good questions. She's like, well, what is your issue with me and Carl? Because it seems like you keep on saying, it really bothers me that you keep saying that we're rushing into stuff. And you, ma'am, moved in with your boyfriend that you didn't even know from Tom, Dick, and Harry. You moved in with him after 2 months. But you coming for me about moving in with Carl. And we've known each other for 7 years. Like, what about this means to you that we're moving fast? Danielle never has a response. She just immediately goes into defense mode. Like, Lindsay, am I not allowed to have an opinion? No, what you're not doing is answering my damn question. Okay? I asked you, what is your problem? Why do you keep saying that we have not been together long enough to be doing this? And she's like, yeah, you guys are, Danielle's like, but you guys are talking about marriage and all this stuff. Like, it's really given that Danielle is jealous because her relationship isn't progressing. It's hard for her, which is sad because that's not a real friend. She sits up here and acts like she's so ride or die for Lindsay, but it's hard for you to watch your friend progress in her relationship, which is really messed up. You are a class A hater. And it's very sad to see. It really, really is. Like, I can't believe that she is hating on her own friend like this. And I feel sorry for Danielle because I wish that her relationship with homeboy was going better. But it's like you can't keep taking this out on your friend, and you can't expect, because your relationship, mind you, throughout all of this, Danielle is expecting Lindsay to read her mind that her relationship isn't going well. She's not outright coming out and saying to Lindsay, I'm not happy in my relationship with Robert. I'm hurting right now and I really need my friends. I need you to be there for me. And she's turning it into, in order for her to be there for her, in order for Lindsay to be there for Danielle, it's like Danielle wants to see her relationship suffering too. Like she don't want Lindsay to be as close to Carl, because she feels like the closer Lindsay is to Carl, the less time she's going to have to, you know, help Danielle turn a blind eye to how bad her relationship really is with Robert. And I just feel like Danielle doesn't want to have hard conversations with Robert because, Robert has said he don't really like to think forward. He don't like to really have tough conversations. But that's not Lindsay's problem. If you are continuing to put up with this behavior from Robert, Danielle, that's on you. There is nothing in the best friend handbook that says, hey, if I'm suffering, you got to suffer too. If my relationship is bad, your relationship got to be bad too. I'm your best fucking friend. We better be fucked up together. No, that's not how it works. Now, if you need more support from Lindsay, you have to be open and honest about what you need support with. And I think that's Danielle's problem. She is so butthurt and jealous seeing Lindsay and Carl so happy, right? That she is too ashamed and too prideful to admit that her relationship is in the toilet, which obviously they've broken up at this point. And I saw Danielle did an interview with somebody where she was actually crying in the interview because she misses Lindsay and she wants to be, back friends with Lindsay, but she feels like the relationship is too tarnished or whatever. I don't think that Lindsay is in a bad place, mentally with Danielle. I think that she asked some valid questions. She just wants Danielle to be open and honest about what the hell is wrong with her. Lindsay is a very critical thinker. Even though Lindsay gets on my damn nerves, she's a very critical thinker in the way of, she's like, I'm asking you a question and you're not responding to me. Why is it that you think we're moving too fast? Why can't we be happy right now? What is your freaking problem with my relationship? Why does my relationship have anything to do with you and what you're doing? Very valid questions that Danielle has yet to answer. So they continue to go back and forth. Danielle is not answering anything that Lindsay is saying. So they said, we just agree to disagree. Let's just move on, which they're not agreeing. And they definitely disagreeing and they're not moving on. So Danielle goes over and sits down with the girls and they're like, well, we saw you and Lindsay were over there talking. What's going on? And here she go again, talking trash about Lindsay to the chicks that don't like her at Lindsay's housewoman. By the way, Lindsay can decorate an apartment. That apartment looked really, really nice. Now, I don't know about her having this whole cutout figure of her damn self. I think that was a bit extra, but hey, you like it, I love it. Your apartment, $13,000 damn dollars. Put whatever the hell else hell you want up there. But moving on, we have Wanda says Daniela boyfriend never comes to anything. He sure doesn't. Okay. Daniela gets on my nerves. Yes. Oh my gosh. She's annoying. Like she doesn't know how to express herself. And it's really pissing me off. Michelle says my first time watching Summer House. Really? Yeah, you got to get into it. Summer House is a good show. I really wish I could have taken better notes on it, but I'm just like, I got to get it out. I don't want to wait 3 weeks and I'm back to work this week. So I don't want to wait too long to get the review done. Navy says, hi from Canada. Hey, how you doing, Navy? Thank you so much for joining the chat. So yeah, y'all. So of course, she's over there talking to Paige, Sierra, and Amanda. Danielle is, and talking crap about Lindsay, which I'm like, this is supposed to be your best friend. So why are you sitting over here spilling the beans to these bras that obviously don't like her? So Danielle is just out of pocket, period. Okay. So then it's the end of the housewarming party, right? Chris ends up showing up at some point, child. And I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. He is just don't have no damn game whatsoever. But anyway, Carl's mom shows up along with his stepdad, I guess. And she greets Lindsay. Kyle greets her. They all give each other hugs. I always like to see Carl's mom because she seems very nice and she always gets him in a better mood. So Carl takes Kyle in the back and he shows Kyle Lindsay's engagement ring. He already has bought it. He's talking about when he's planning on proposing to her and everything. So I think it's really good. I'm so happy for them. Like they seem to really be in it to win it together. And it's just time for them to move on, live their best life, and do what they do best, which is love on each other. So everybody has gathered to go back to the summer house for the weekend, right? The housewarming is over. Everything's cool. Sierra, Chris, and Paige are riding together down to the summer house. And Chris is talking about, he calling somebody Denim 1 and Denim 2, but one of their names is Cassidy. And he's like, I really want to explore her more. And talking about how he want to meet her and talk to her and kiss on her and blah, blah, blah. Chris, you have no game. I don't even know why any of these women would give you the time of day. But anyway, Lindsay and Carl are driving down. They're chatting it up on the way down there. But the biggest part that I really want to talk about at this portion of the episode is they have a party, right? And Carl ends up, no, everybody's hanging out in the house. Carl ends up pulling Danielle to the side to have a conversation with her. And I think that this is very important. He's like, listen, I know that you've had a conversation with Lindsay. You guys have talked, but I want to have a conversation with you. I know that we probably need to talk or whatever, because they used to call each other the Trace Amigas, whatever amigos, they all used to hang out together. So he's just trying to get to understand Danielle's feelings. So he tried to break it down like, listen, are you feeling some type of way about me and Lindsay's relationship because you and I used to date? Are you having a problem with it? Like, how are you in your relationship? Like, I like the fact that Carl asked that question because he's like, how is your relationship going? Because he just wants to see if she's projecting. She's like, do you think I want you? Or, something like that. Like, she was just like, kind of deflecting and not really answering the questions. He's like, are you genuinely happy for me and Lindsay? She says, yes, I'm genuinely happy for you. And he's like, well, knowing that you moved in with Robert after 2 months and Lindsay and I have known each other for 7 years, tell me what you think makes us look like we're moving too fast. And obviously she never has anything to say. She's like, I feel like you're like, I'm allowed to have an opinion. Girl, that is not answering the damn question. It's not. And she's like, and you guys are talking about marriage already? He was like, yeah, I'm going to propose to her. Like, I have a ring and everything. So she screams in a pillow. I'm like, that doesn't give me a sign of a happy friend. You're not happy for your friend, sis. You're a hating ass. Okay. And Lindsay should just steer clear of you. You're not a good friend. I don't like females like Danielle because Danielle wants to pick and choose when she wants to be loyal. So she's like, I stand up for you. I have your back all the time. So that means that you should just do whatever I say and, validate my feelings all the time. No, when you're being an idiot and you being stupid, stupid people can't hang around and do stupid things together. You do stupid things and win stupid prizes. Okay. And Lindsay ain't trying to win that prize with you. Clearly. Wanda says this couple is the ones with the 2 dogs. No, Lindsay and Carl don't have dogs yet. That's you talking about Kyle and Amanda. Wanda says since she's jealous of she's definitely jealous of their relationship for sure. Her and Carl used to date back in 2014, but they only dated for like a month. So I don't know if it's necessarily that she wants Carl per se, But I'm definitely thinking that she's sad that her relationship is not working out. Lindsay is happy and she's getting ready to get married. So Danielle is pissed because now she got to start all over again because her relationship with Robert is over. Like they ended up breaking up because Robert loved his career more than he loved Danielle. So she couldn't get with the program. And honestly, I think Danielle would have been okay with their relationship if it wasn't for the fact that Lindsay and Carl were so happy. I think the having to watch them be happy shed a light on how much she really was just settling with Robert. I think she was making herself be okay with the fact that he's gone all the time just because she really liked him and she felt like he was what she would consider close to a perfect fit for her. And just because we have that little hiccup, they had that little hiccup of his job and him not being as available to her, I guess she in her mind thought eventually that will change. So is the juice really worth the squeeze? Do I give up a really good person because of some a minor setback such as their job for right now? Because the job could change, but the person is always going to be amazing. But maybe she realized over time he really isn't as amazing as she thought. Terry Babe 89 says she seems jealous of their relationship. Sorry for the misspell. No, you're fine. Queen T says, hello, Shay. I don't watch this, just here to support. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining the chat and watching the video. Appreciate y'all so much. But yeah, y'all, not really much to say here. Like it wasn't really a whole lot going on that really needed to be talked about. Like, I was happy to see Luke on episode 9. I think him and Andrea should come back more often. I like seeing them on the show. I think they gaslit Luke a little too much. And I think that Sierra really placed herself in the cast some kind of way by pushing Luke out the way, which I don't understand how she was able to do that. Maya and her boyfriend, I don't even child, they broken up now. But that there was nothing passionate about them whatsoever. Okay. But yeah, Lindsay and Danielle, I just really want Danielle to get a life. I want her to get a life. I want her to stop having all these expectations of Lindsay. Stop thinking that Lindsay should kiss your ex, sis. Like it's too much. It is team entirely too much. Let it burn. Danielle, apologize to Lindsay. Let her know that you were you were deflecting. Like I mean, you were projecting. You were projecting your insecurities onto Lindsay and you were jealous that she is in a good relationship and in a good space and she doesn't need protection from you. Like you out here trying to be a mama bear for a grown ass lady. My best friend, me and my best friend have been friends since we were 5 years old. I am 37 years old. Y'all do the math. I'll be 38 in July. Okay? I don't have to protect. I know my best friend got bigger balls than some of these men out here. I don't have to step in and protect her. She got a mouth. She can do what she needs. She can do and say whatever she needs to say and check whoever she needs to check. Now, if I need to step in, I will step in, but I don't have to step in for my friend all the time. And I also am glad to be happy for her. I don't want her to be miserable if I'm miserable. If she's doing well in life, I'm going to support her in all of her endeavors and everything that she's doing. And I expect the same for me. But I'm not going to be going over there being a Debbie Downer to her because something ain't going right in my damn life. And she better not bring her ass over here doing that to me. I just think that there's a lot of, between damn Love and Marriage Huntsville and this show, it's a lot of needy ass women in this world. And I would just need people to find something to do on their own. I really do. I need these ladies to just really get a life. I need you to get a life outside of your friends and not have all these expectations of the women around you. It's big weird. It really is. Like I don't get it. But anyway, that's my review for Summer House. Lindsay did say on Watch What Happens Live that she's hoping she would like to reconcile with Danielle, but she wants to see how the reunion goes. Like Danielle coming to her wedding or them moving forward in their friendship or in their relationship really heavily depends on how the reunion goes. And I just think that that's really, really sad that it's gotten to this point. And so Andy was like, wow, the pressure. Like basically their relationship depends on how Andy poses the questions and how they can get along at the reunion. Um, Wanda says Danielle needs to pay attention to her own relationship and stop being so mean to her own boyfriend. Maybe he would show up more. Yeah, maybe he would if she wasn't such a damn chore to be around. And maybe she talking about Lindsay and Carl so damn much. She probably like, okay, well, go and take your ass over there. I'm going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with this dynamic, and the expectations are just out of this world for what she has for Lindsay. But we'll see how the next episode goes, y'all. I think the reunion should be coming up soon. But I love Sam and Corey together. I think somebody said they look like Ken and Barbie, but I do. I think it's really cute. I love Carl and Lindsay together. I think they are a good fit. And I'm finally seeing the Kyle and Amanda deal. Paige and Craig, child, homegirl really sat there and cried because this man was thinking about proposing to her. I ain't never seen nobody do nothing like that ever in my life. But y'all, that's what it is. Thank y'all for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that is watching this show too. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.